because we did get my son in the new bedroom and he's loving that.
Oh, you
Um,
did move him. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yep. Um,
Good.
it's like the stuff that we took out of there, um, we're trying to get rid of it, and I would like to be able to make some money to help pay for the part three. So we're
Mhm.
trying to sell it, but things are slow on that end.
Okay.
So
All right.
so I
Well,
feel like I'm at a halt because like stuff is everywhere now and it's out of that room, but to move on, that would, result in dragging more stuff out kind of thing.
we just started a Mercury retrograde today. So you're going to notice that getting things finished is going to feel like almost urgent.
Hmm.
It's gonna start to feel uncomfortable. Like I gotta get that done. Like it'll get in front of you. That's the beauty of a retrograde.
I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me explain it to you because it's once you know it, you're not going
Uh-huh.
to be like a victim of it. You'll just know what's going on, and you'll have.
Okay.
This is good. This is a good topic. So I'm having like an allergic reaction to I don't know what, but I've been sneezing like crazy.
Oh, no.
Okay, lovely. So uh, the Mercury when Mercury goes retrograde, if you were to look at it with a telescope, it would look like it's going backward in the sky. That's what retrograde means. It's
Okay.
not, but it looks like that.
Uh-huh.
But when it does that, the pull that it has, all the planets and the moon and all that, they have this, pull on us, and we are affected by it because, we're 80 something percent water, and
Okay.
that's like the ocean is controlled by the moon, and all these different things. Okay, so I'm not going to pretend I can explain all that very well, but anyway, um, when it happens, though, what we experience is things not working. So you might type something up on the computer and then it just disappears, or your computer doesn't work and you don't know why. Your
Okay.
phone doesn't work. You drop calls. It doesn't normal. So anything, it very much affects anything with a motor. Okay, so you could say a car. You could call your computer. Anything electronic like that.
Okay.
It messes with it. Contracts. Anything you're going to sign, make a plan. Like there's probably going to be some mistake on it. You get to
Huh.
go just be really diligent about checking it. But the most important thing is that Mercury controls communication. So
Oh.
it could be a situation where somebody says something and you're like so offended and they didn't mean anything by it, or reverse, right? So
Okay.
being really mindful of, oh, this could be a Mercury retrograde thing. Like, like it's one of those things now I'm like, okay, of course the entire Zoom collapsed, right? Like it's Mercury retrograde. So it's a really good way to like, oh, okay, that's an explanation, because otherwise, what do? We take that stuff on and make
Gets
ourselves wrong
frustrating.
for it or whatever. Yeah. So it's kind of a nice thing. And it is pretty, and it's an intense time. Feelings are felt deeper, um, that kind of a thing. So
Okay.
but what's supported is anything that begins with re. So rethink, redo, realign, reimagine, whatever. So reorganizing, fantastic time to reorganize something,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So that's why I'm saying like it's a brilliant time to get things done, and you'll be really supported. You'll feel like, where's this energy coming from to get this done? Whereas if you sit down and try to come up with I'm gonna uh, do something brand new, you're gonna notice you're stuck. It's gonna be difficult for you to do it.
Huh.
So it's
Okay.
not
And
a
how
time to start anything new. You don't want to start anything new. Like that's real. And there are people that follow like they don't start programs in my world. Like they don't start programs during a retrograde, nothing like that. So
interesting.
yeah, it really is. It's a great time to
How long
finish things.
okay. How long does it last and how often does it occur?
It happens 3 to 4 times a year. It
Uh-huh.
goes, so here's the thing. There's the shadow days, which are about 2 weeks before. So that's why I'm saying we've been feeling it for about 2 weeks. And then
Okay.
it ends on February 20th. And then we'll feel it for another 2 weeks after that.
Hmm.
So it's an interesting thing. Like it's an interesting thing. Look it up, and it's fascinating, and it's I don't know. Somebody had said it was, I don't know. I looked it up. This was years ago, but somebody was like, "Oh, this is just woo woo and blah blah blah." Except it's not, though, Because if you look it up like scientifically, like the people that study these kind of things, even the government is aware of it. Like we don't, it's really interesting. So yeah.
Huh.
So just pay attention and use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
To your advantage to get anything done. If you get a hit to call somebody, which this is the time we've got a full moon and retrograde. So if
Mm.
you get like a hit to call somebody, call them.
I've been doing that.
Okay, good, good, good,
Mhm.
good. Yeah, follow your intuition.
Mhm.
Definitely, definitely. Um, okay, so yeah, so since you're here, I can either talk about something or you can tell me what's anything coming up for you. You said you wanted to create the money to do the level 2 or level 3.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the meditation that you're going to record.
Okay.
I took a lot of notes during the last live. Um, so
Good. I love that. That makes me, because it's like, when I don't get a lot of people on it at the time, I'm like, I hope
uh
this is helpful.
yeah, it definitely was. We are thinking about instead of making the room that Adam was in a guest bedroom, doing like a relaxation room.
I love that.
So it's something that gets used, since it's on the main level of our house.
Right. Like a meditation space, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep, we have go
You
ahead.
could always put, this is what I did in my grandkids' room. Like I got these chairs that unfold into a twin bed, but when I put them together, they're a queen bed.
Okay,
So it's really cool. Like, so if I have guests, boom, I have a queen bed. And if
right.
I have, if the littles are here, then they just have their own little beds. And then if nobody's here, it's chairs in the room. It looks great.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get really creative with that. That's a great idea. I love that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I know you said not to start anything, but I started taking Juice Plus. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Um, at probably like the middle of January, and
Good.
the effects that I'm experiencing and my husband and my son are really good. So I've partnered with them, and um, I see another potential for
Good.
creating some money for part 3 through that. So that's something that is new that I am working on.
Okay. Fantastic. I love that. I love that. No, that's wonderful. And you're in perfect time. So, yeah, no, it's been around a very, very long time. It's a company that's been around for a long time. And my understanding is that it's good stuff. So, that's great. Good for you. You got an opportunity. I make up. You may had an opportunity and you said this feels right and you took it. I love it.
And then I'm also considering creating a Facebook page for women for connection and focusing on themselves. And I value connection, and it seems like it's been more difficult for people to do that with, using the scarcity mindset of COVID. But I'm trying to find a way to
Well,
bring people together.
yeah, that's true though. I mean, we haven't been, I was thinking that the other day, like I haven't, we haven't, like I might see people, but I don't get to hug them,
Yeah.
and I go, yeah, I think there's a definite lack in that right now. We're all experiencing that, that physical connection.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. What inspired you to do that?
Um, Focusing on me and seeing how good it felt and how needed it is, and how everything else in life kind of falls into place. It doesn't have to be me or them, it could be me and them. And
There you go.
I was thinking about just my desire for, I told you I would always host parties and this and that, and ways to bring people together. And that's like something that I value most, is that quality time with people. I don't want to know like surface conversations. I really like to get to know someone and how their family is and this and that, so it's
Good.
meaningful.
I think that sounds wonderful. I think that sounds really good. Well, good. This is wonderful. So it sounds like you got really inspired from level 2. I'm really excited to hear that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome, honey. Okay,
Yeah.
so one of the things that I wanted to bring up, like that I feel like a lot of us can struggle with if we have a scarcity conversation about anything,
Uh-huh.
and we covered this a little bit in part 2, is that, it's the little child, right? It's the inner child
Yeah.
that is either having a full-blown temper tantrum or being a martyr, or, or just acting out. And
Hmm.
one of the ways that we'll know that's happening is if we have this, like, it might feel like an urge or it might feel like a compulsion. It doesn't matter, but it's like, I gotta go shopping. I gotta go buy some stuff, or I've got to go, like this, like it's a different than a like a pull or a
Okay.
calling, right? Like an intuitive knowing, like you had this hit to do a women's, page supporting each other. That's different than this. This is that like urgency, like I've got to do this right now. I want to have it right now. That is a little kid inside of us that's having a
Uh-huh.
temper tantrum. And
Okay.
so we have to remember what a loving parent would do, right? A loving parent wouldn't go to the store and go, you know what, knock yourself out. You get whatever you want. I'll meet you at the cash register, right? That would never happen,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So it's about going in and saying, okay, yeah, you can get something. We'll get something, but I want to give you attention, right? When you start a dialogue with the inner
Okay.
child, it's so powerful. Like she definitely will be excited to talk to you. And sometimes I have people in coaching, I'll have them get a pencil and a crayon or a box of
Hmm.
crayons. And
Okay.
their dominant hand, I'm going to use my right hand because it's my dominant hand. You write a question, right? Like, how are you today? Or is anything bothering you? Whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
And then put that down. And then with your non-dominant hand, you get the crayons and start working with that and letting whatever comes out, that you don't know what's going to happen because it's the nonverbal creative side of you that's going to come out, which is that little inner child.
Hmm.
And it's very powerful to do that, to start to let her know you're there, you've got her. And so any kind of scarcity, whether it's money or time or relationships or whatever, if you believe there's not enough, it's the little girl or the little inner child that may be having a response to that and making up these stories to survive. Remember, we're surviving under the age of 6. Whatever we made up
Mhm.
is that's what's happening there. So that's a
Okay.
really powerful thing to do, to have her be able to express herself, be able to know that you're there, that you care, right? Because she feels abandoned by everybody.
And
Did you say
yeah, what type of question?
it could be anything?
Yeah, what type of question?
Like, how are you? Is there anything I can do for you? Is anything bothering you today? I noticed you really wanted to
Okay.
go shopping. What's really going on? Like just, those kind of questions that you would
Okay.
inquire of a child. And if you get stuck on that, right? Maybe because your child is 5, is that right? He's 5. I think.
Yeah, is that mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you may not have gotten that far yet, right? Or maybe you have, but there's all kind of things out there. You can even look on Pinterest, like inquiry questions to ask your child. Well, your child and your inner child, still children. So that's a great place to start.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but really get your own soul. Like, what is it that sometimes what I do is like think about myself at a certain age and go, okay, what would I have loved if somebody would have asked me? Right? Because, and I grew up, I'm
Okay.
a lot older than you, and I grew up with don't speak until you're spoken to. So questions were out of the question. We didn't
Hmm.
get to, I didn't get to even answer
Gotcha.
the question, let alone have a conversation. Not all the time, but a lot.
Right. Okay.
So that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do, to really, again, connect with that little child. So all of it boils down to is being aware, staying aware of what the thoughts are, where they're coming from, what is it that they're bringing up inside of you. So noticing
Okay.
our thoughts, noticing our self-talk. That's the other thing, because the self-talk is often the parent, right? So we just keep the conversation going, and we might change a little bit about it, but it's the parent that is having the effect on us, even if they're dead and gone or whatever, right? Like they're not the same anymore, and we're tall now, and so we still have that parent running us, and we often add more cruelty to it. So it's really interesting how that is, and gets, again, staying on top of it. When you notice a cruel thought, or you notice a scarcity conversation about anything at all, like, and it can be the smallest little thing. Oh, I better not take the last one. um
Mm.
oh, are you trying to get in on a different
Yeah, my phone's going dead, so I'm at my computer now.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you. I'll hang up from this.
So there we go. So there you go. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying is like, yeah, you gotta mute the one. There you go. Perfect. Good job. I feel like I've gone on a little walk with you. Excuse me. So does that make sense? Like really staying on top of your thoughts, becoming
Yeah.
aware, and that is diligence. Like you've got to stay really diligent because they will sneak up on you. They really do. They sneak up on us, those ugly scarcity conversation thoughts. And
Yes.
even in conversation, we're talking to somebody. Oh, I don't have enough money to do that. I don't have enough time to do that. Oh, I wish I could, but I can't. Can't means won't. Every
Yeah.
single time. Can't means won't. And I even tell my grandkids that. I'm like, my youngest is 5, and he'll be like, well, I can't do it, Grandma. I'm like, oh, that means you won't do it. And then he goes, no, oh no, I'll do it. I'm like, I believe in you. Give it a shot, right? Like reparenting our little inner child
Mm-hmm.
is, noticing you get to choose. You always get to choose. So you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. It's not that you can't, right? You
Sure.
get to choose,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of us are like afraid of whatever it is, making somebody mad or whatever it is. So we say we can't, which sounds victim-y, right? Or if, in other words, to say no is a complete sentence.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. No, or thank you. You can always say thank you, but no thank you, right? It's okay. It's okay to do that. I was
Yeah.
waiting for somebody to do that when we were talking about enrolling in the next level, because that's where it happens, right? We go into panic when there's something presented and we feel boxed in or something. And it's just really interesting because if you already know going in and you love and respect yourself, right? That can't come up. You can really ask yourself, is this something I really want? And you trust if it's something you really want, you'll find a way because the universe is conspiring for you. What you want wants you.
Right.
What you want wants you only all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the mind shift that gets to happen there, is just
Mm-hmm.
remembering that you're not in this alone. You're not in this alone. You have and the work that I teach is highly spiritual. I'm really aware of and whatever the language is, I'm I never seek to offend, but whatever the language is for a higher power, and that we're not separate from that higher power, right? There's the divine all, and then we are an individualized aspect of that, which means if we were to not be, nothing could be because we are all connected, right? So if you would suddenly go, I'm just done, I just don't want to do this anymore ever, like and you can't do this, it's impossible. But to go like I'm done, like everything would cease to be because
Uh-huh.
how intricate you are in the
Mm-hmm.
whole. So it's very, very powerful. And one of the things we're going to cover in the third level is keeping your vibration up, right? Like
Okay.
everybody has low days, everybody has, and we get to feel our emotions. I'm a huge fan of feeling emotions, right? Like I get right in there and just hunker down sometimes, right? But the thing is that what we do as humans is we have the feeling, and then it's a good excuse to eat something, drink something, buy something, right? Instead of being with the feeling. And
Yeah.
we came here to feel the feelings, and they're a blessing, right? And as a recovering woman, I'm here to tell you all I did to numb out my my feelings.
Yeah.
Now I get to have my feelings. So it's really important. But that said, and we get to go, okay, you know what? I'm feeling really irritated with my husband, or I'm irritated with something at work. I'm gonna stay with irritated for 20 minutes. And then like full blown be irritated. What an asshole, all that kind of stuff. Right. And then ding, 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 20 minutes is up. Okay, I'm gonna go up to the next better feeling thought. And there's a chart. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
up to the next better feeling and choose it. Right. I'm gonna choose.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna choose. Now you can't go from irritation to joy in one blink. Like that is not a thing. You can't live in a hovel and then get to a mansion. Right. Like
Uh-huh.
and if somebody lives in the hovel, someone finds $1 to buy a ticket to the lottery and they win the lottery, they won't be in the mansion for very long because they
Right.
don't have the ability, the knowingness that they matter enough to stay there, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
this incremental moving up is really important. It's part of
Okay.
how we learn. It's just
Okay.
part of it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So is that bringing up any questions for you or thoughts?
Um, it gets me excited. I feel like a lot of things with me are, I'm like, hum ho, go getter, and then it kind of fizzles off. So knowing that, you do have to step up gives me some more clarity. Um, as far as the scarcity, like I'll tell you how low on the totem pole I've put myself. For like 6 months, I was out of eye makeup remover, and I would take a Q-tip and I would like just go inside the nozzle of the soap dispenser and go under my eyes. And just things like that, or like be thirsty in the car, but I'm like, oh, I'm almost home. So instead of using this bottle of water, I'll save that and I'll just wait when like that's how low I was. So I think that's why it feels so good making myself a priority and knowing
That's
I'm worth it. And
huge. Oh, honey, that's huge.
yeah,
And that you busted yourself on it
yeah,
because those things are so subtle, right? We often don't notice them, right?
yeah.
The more
So,
aware you become, the more aware you become.
and then, what you said about like whatever you put out there is what you'll get. So I had the phone number to somebody. I like the eye makeup remover by Mary Kay. And about 5 months ago, I asked my friend who uses Mary Kay, who the person's number who she gets it from. So I called that person, got the voicemail, said my name, my phone number, what town I lived in, and said that I'd like the eye makeup remover today. And she called me back, and within an hour, she was at my house. She had driven 35 minutes. And
Aw,
yeah, so
that's
I,
pretty cool.
yeah, and I, normally would be like, oh, that's far, do you want to come on a day that is more convenient for you, or, something like that. But I said, no, I deserve it. So,
There you go.
yeah,
And she was willing to do it, right?
right.
And she got to, so we have to breathe in and out and in, both. So you get to receive and then you get to give. Like being worthy of both is really important. And if we're
Yeah.
always blowing out, like, oh, I don't want to upset you, me, like we're not taking care of ourselves. And
Hmm.
it hurts. It hurts to not breathe both directions, right?
Right.
It hurts to not receive and give. It hurts, right?
Yeah.
We start to
And
get
I'm very good at receiving. Like if someone does something for me, I'm all for it and appreciative. But it's the part that was missing was me doing for myself. So,
so when you get your like I'm all about receiving, perfect. And then what comes up? So let's say somebody out of the clear blue sky comes in and they give you a beautiful Gucci scarf. Okay, let's go
mhm,
with something really wow, that is an extraordinary gift, right?
yeah.
So what do you do? So they hand you the box, you open it. What do you do?
Well, I have an example actually. Someone, it was like a week before your class, someone asked me to go to lunch with them, and she said she had something for me. So she gave me this beautiful box of chocolates. It was like all different um, shapes and fillings and this and that, and then a gift card to a spa for
Ooh,
$200. And so that to me is like similar to your example.
yeah,
It was
absolutely.
unexpected and over the top. And I cried when I saw that. And I was so thankful and appreciative and just very touched that she thought to do that, that I was that important to her. And she said it was on her heart. And, I enjoyed the chocolates and I had my spa appointment. So does
Good.
that answer your question?
It does. Now, do you feel compelled at all to like do something for her?
I wrote her a really nice thank you note, and we're already friends. And I, asked about getting
Obviously.
together. Asked about getting together, but not necessarily like she did that for me, so I need to do something for her. No, but
But have
just
you experienced that? That like, oh my God, I received, I've got to hurry up and give. Have you ever experienced that?
there was somebody who I went to high school with, and her daughter was going into a pageant and she was raising money for St. Jude's. And so like I saw that, and then the next time I saw it, I did it right away. I was like, that came up for a reason. So I was compelled to do that. I
That's a
mean,
little different. I'm talking about the compulsion, right?
Oh,
That compulsion, like, oh my God, somebody gave to me. I've gotta like I've got to equal the playing field, like,
yeah,
and that may not be for you, but that does happen for some people. Cause
yeah,
I'm going to share this on Facebook where, like there's this compulsion to, like, oh, like it almost feels uncomfortable to receive
no,
so much so that we have to hurry up and, give back right away, and to let that go, right? For any of you that have had that experience, to let that go is so powerful, right? Because that speaks to I'm not enough, right? That's what that speaks to is I'm not enough. I don't deserve this, so I'm going to hurry up and give back to you, so you don't have anything on me, right? And I get that just from my own upbringing. Like anything my parents gave me didn't have strings attached; it had like cables,
mm,
like it was just like there was nothing that was ever given without. Oh, they kept notes, like what they had, whatever it was, they kept notes. So there's a big, see the difference in that. And, those of us that had that would be more compelled to like, I want to make sure you don't have anything on me, right? Because then I owe
oh,
you. See what I mean?
yeah.
So something like that. So it's good that you don't have that. That's wonderful. Good job. Good job. Okay, good. Well, you've gotten a nice little private coaching session here.
Mhm.
Maybe other people will join us next week. Is there anything else I can support you with? And I always like to bring my cute coffee mugs to my coffee talk. So
Oh,
I love cute coffee mugs. So definitely bring a cute coffee mug, and I will record that. I had it written down, and I planned on doing it. Just this week broke up a lot. And it was coming into retrograde. I get it now.
mhm,
So it was about like visualizing what it is that you want, which is to go to the class.
right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll probably just do that in a few minutes.
Okay. And then, so that I have awareness, what is the plan for part three,
Well,
based on the interest so far?
yeah. So we have two people that actually went ahead and registered, which is awesome. Um, I will be speaking with Francine on Monday. They have actually, so their company name is AMP, and then they merged with another company that does similar work. So that has taken up a great deal of time. And I certainly have compassion for that. I get that. So, but I will actually get to speak with her on Monday, and we
Okay.
will make a plan. I'm thinking mid February is my ideal. I think that would work. And we're going to be really like noticing what you guys need. And I have a plan. I know what I want to do. And I'm even thinking about doing a separate thing, just my own, my thing that might go on too. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I'll know more after Monday, and I'll let you guys know on
Okay.
Facebook.
Sounds great.
All right, sweetie, have a wonderful weekend. It was good to
You
talk to
too.
you.
You
And
also,
everybody
Tori.
else have a good
Bye.
weekend. All right. Bye.
Bye.